sharing. Take it away.
Okay, thank you very much for the initiative. I think it's a brilliant initiative, and we actually need it. I'm humbled mostly for being here because it gives us the opportunity to share with others and hear what they think. So Menokws is a startup that has a vision to meet information, and that's the mission, to meet information technology and medical technology needs in Zimbabwe and beyond. The vision is to lower the cost of healthcare in Zimbabwe and in Africa through clever business models, through innovation, and through technology. So, yeah, our case is still an open-ended case. We do not know whether Menokws is a success or not. But up until now, it's been quite an interesting journey, and we are hopeful. So the thing is, when I started, I was a lone founder, like single out founder, and that brought its challenges. It's been 10 months now, or 11, and I've never been busier. I've never been busier because trying to marry the part of the business that was not admin, that was not technology. I had to learn some things very fast, and I literally got sick because of overwork, because I was trying to do good administrative work, but I had trained for technical things, so it was quite a hurdle. So it was quite an interesting phase where where I literally had to work throughout the night. So having said that, it has always been interesting up until now, because I believe that the work that I do and that I do with my team is meaningful. The other part that came up was having to form a team, a good team for that matter. It was quite an interesting part also, because for me it came to be more like dating, because try out to have this team member, it fails, and then go to the next one and it fails, because the product that we are developing, an IoT low-cost ventilator, has got different knowledge areas that needed to be merged, namely the medical part, the mechanical engineering, as well as the electronic engineering. So having those three in one was quite a difficult thing for the anesthetist who would have helped us. It was almost like love at first sight, because we spoke about it once, and the second time we were speaking, she was all in, and she was very instrumental in helping out. The difficult one was to find a mechanical engineering person who was then willing to undertake the challenge, because initially we had thought we would use to work based on an open source project and sort of build on top of that, because of the heat of the COVID-19. But as the things changed, it became clear that that kind of product would not hold water. So we sort of needed to start from ground zero. So finding a mechanical engineering person who was interested in doing that was quite a hurdle. But then I met this other gentleman, and then he took the challenge straight up, and ever since we have been having fun working and innovating together. So the team finding one was a bit tricky. There are friends also who came along the way who would offer their help. We had technical expertise in whatever it is that we were trying to develop, a low-cost ventilator, and they would come and pinpoint other things and so forth. Because one thing that I learned during this period of starting up really was that you have to admit on the things that you are not proficient in. You just have to come to terms with not knowing. So when those friends pointed out the knowledge, the areas where I was lacking, because we had to develop a real-time operating system and make sure that we implement it so that it becomes accurate in medical electronics. So apparently I didn't have that skill set. So I had to take a few courses on Udemy and learn so that I beef up the knowledge that was needed. And it sort of paid off well because I can say I have learned quite a lot. Then, yeah, there's this sensor that became quite interesting. Yeah.
60 seconds.
Okay, left with 60 seconds. So, yeah, there is also this common challenge of dealing with bigger organizations, because to them 1 month is just a short period of time, but to us it's like a lifetime. So yeah, it introduces cash flow problems, because for the competencies that we have, we use to do projects for other people. So when you talk a deal and say, let's do it, maybe to a bigger organization, the process would take one month for them to go through the whole process. But for us, it would be like a year. And then the other interesting and also not so pleasant thing that we constantly do is to confront an unknown future. And yeah, an unknown future is quite terrible to work with. Yeah, so I think that has been my experience in short.
Okay, thank you for that. Thank you so much, Mr. Angela Darlington, do you have any questions for him? You can unmute your mic or write in the chat.
Well, if I ask questions, I'll be throwing him under the bus, but I'm just going to keep quiet.
Go for it. I'm sure you'd love to hear what you have to say.
No,
please do.
We're in the same team.
Okay.
Apparently, it's the mechanical engineering guy that I was talking about.
Oh, okay. Who's that? It's darling. So, Angela, do you have any questions?
No, I do not have any.
Oh, no question. No feedback. On feedback, do you have any feedback for him?
Well, the feedback, maybe we are going to discuss behind the curtain, but yeah, there is progress on my side. There is progress, quite significant progress. So now, as you were saying that, well, it has been a hurdle, like it has been a challenge. You know, you have these sleepless nights thinking, how am I going to do this thing? And then you try this, and then you realize that it doesn't work, and then you try that. So it has been a challenge. I mean, taking up on something that you haven't yet done before, you're like, okay, fine, this is an interesting challenge. And then when you're inside the challenge, then you're like, what was I thinking? And then you're like, well, I'm here now. I might as well just go in knees deep.
All right. So maybe I can ask my own questions. Some questions, and maybe they'll develop. So during the creation of this entity, what has been the feedback you have gotten from potential customers / potential users? What feedback have they given you?
So the potential customers, well, it's a two-part solution. Maybe I should explain it a bit so that you get it more. It's a two-part solution. So being an IoT ventilator meant that there is this hardware that we are going to make, and then there was also this software package that would consume data from the hardware, right? So the hardware part was not a problem. When we spoke with potential clients, their only reservation was that if your thing is going to perform according to the other solutions that are in the market, and can be verified by the relevant bodies, then there is no reason why we cannot adopt it, right? Then for the software part, when we had created a bit of the software part that was going to consume that data from the hardware side, the issue has been to say it cannot be sold as is. So we had to add a couple of features onto that software, and we are still adding. So there's this hospital that then said they would want to try the software. They committed before we actually made the software to say, you know what, we want you to come with the software before, just after finishing, and then we run a parallel program. If your software performs okay, there's this thing about medical aid companies, communication between hospitals and medical aid companies through 263. So that's their major concern. So they said if it is going to perform well in that regard and is somewhat more usable than what we have currently in terms of processing RTG payments and US dollar payments separately, then we are going to adopt it as our software.
So they are positive about it.
Yes, they are quite positive. Then there are others who were quite skeptical to say, you guys, you are coming in and you want to. It's sort of a ploy that you are doing to harvest our information and steal our clients. I don't know how that actually came about, but that was the information that we got from some clients. And then the others were like, who else is using that software system that you are talking about? And then they were quite uninterested.
I guess the question was on their part is probably, where are you keeping their data?
Yes, something of sorts.
Yeah, so they're probably like, where can keep the data?
Yes. So apparently there is this thing that happens with these medical softwares whereby they are registered at some body. So they were like, you want to steal because we haven't heard your name at that body. So you are probably people who are coming in just to steal information and leave.
Yeah. So, yeah, that looks like that would be something that they would be scared of. Okay. Yes. Darlington, questions. Andile, any questions?
No, not questions. No, I do not have questions. I don't know maybe if maybe Mr. Meshuli would like to go further as to where he sees Menokws in, say, next 15 years or so. Is it only going to be limited in what he has spoken about, or is there much more information there is to it?
15 years. Wow. I thought you'd say 6 months or 12, but okay.
Yeah, no, because actually, these things take time.
Go for it. Yeah, these things confronting an unknown future. So the fashion that we are developing our our technology, we have really said to an extent gone world class in terms of the type of technology that we are implementing. And in a research and development fashion, that's how we have been working on our product. So you will find out that when there are certain libraries, say for reading blood oxygen, we have actually gone to say, instead of using the black box library, we are going to build it from the ground up. The reason being that will give us a plethora, if I can say, a plethora of knowledge that we can use to build other things. So that would finish the ICU. Say when we finish making the ventilator and it is standing there, we can simply take out other parts and say we are making an oximeter that measures blood oxygen. We can also simply take out the part that is monitoring the patient and say it's a patient monitoring system. So it sort of simplifies. So in 15 years, if we were to have that, if we are still there in 15 years, yeah, we would be a beacon of light, I'm sure, in Africa, developing these medical equipment and perhaps some laboratory equipment. Yeah, so I think that's what will be happening in 15 years.
I'm seeing we've got Mr. Ngwenya and, oh, he changed his name. So TK, if you've got, seeing there's someone else called TK who's here. TK, if you have any questions, you can type them in the chat or let us know. Darlington says he loves the passion and the patience. So it's a remedy. Let me ask another question. And what kind of mentorship do you currently have, or are you seeking that's helping you in this through this journey?
Oh, okay. We've been fortunate enough. We've been fortunate enough because there is a program for mentoring that we have been having, and we've been having mentoring in terms of agile methodologies, lean methodologies. We've been having mentorship on the business development side of things, and we have a lot of well-wishers, believe you me, who just come in there and give advice. There's this other electronic engineer who just said to me, "Let me see your circuit, young man. I want to know whether you're actually doing the right thing." Because his belief is that what we are trying to do or what we are doing is pivotal to the development of the nation. So I show him my circuit and then he points out certain flaws that I wouldn't have seen. And it was quite helpful. But what we hope to get going forward is marketing, mentorship in terms of marketing, because or sales rather. I don't know, marketing or sales and marketing, because it's going to be quite important. And for the few products that we have been trying to sell for the time being, yeah, it shows that marketing is quite something that we will really need mentorship on.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's good. I can understand. Do you think the product is ready for market?
Okay, so we think we are going to launch both products in November, but we have got services where we have experienced a bit of marketing. We have got services that keep us afloat as we build. services to do with, for example, as we built our ventilator and our hospital software, those kind of competencies we are also offering as a service to others, to say if there is a software that the other company once created, we get in there with the team and we actually create it. So we've sort of faced a bit of challenges, if I may say, in terms of marketing and sales. But as for the products that we are currently building, I think we don't really need marketing now. We also have people who have already committed to trying them out, and I think that's encouraging.
Okay, no, that's good. TK and the person with no name, do you have any questions? I can see you've got just a number. Okay, got nothing. No, sir, not you. All right, we've got 5 minutes left, so.
Yeah, so maybe I can just say the other thing that we were looking forward to is how one would want to raise patient capital, because this game of research and development is not quite straightforward. As to say you would have a product by a full product as of say our tentative dates of launch are November, right? But during development, research and development, what we come across is that you may find after building a certain block that this is not the way you want it to go. It's not exactly how the calculations that we had made are not exactly what is coming on the ground. So an iteration is quite expensive to do, to say, to change from product form A to go to product form B and compare is not quite cheap to do with some of these hardware that we are playing around with. So we are also interested in looking in terms of patient capital that would be able to then say, do the cycles as many as are needed, and then come up with a top-notch product.
In terms of patient capital, this obviously this is one of the things I'm interested in. Have you looked where have you looked locally, and have you looked outside our borders, and what has the response been?
So we have looked locally. Yeah, we have looked locally, and we've been quite aggressive on that front, to say we needed to raise money locally, because they are the people who actually can see us and talk to us in person. So there is an issue of what can I say? The industry that we are trying to delve into is not really the most famous industry that people work in to develop medical technology, to develop this hardware stuff, and it's not really the most famous. So there's a bit of doubt as to whether really in this region of ours we can be able to stand up to the challenge. Then internationally, we have tried to enter into other hackathons. We actually went to the one hosted by Garage 48. So when we were on the second from last phase, some funny things happened with electricity and we couldn't put our final submission. But we actually came up on the top 200 of the 2,500 teams that were actually there in order to be able to raise capital. We have spoken to other VC platforms. I think you are the one who spoke about VC4A, something like that. we have sort of also delved into those, and we are keeping our fingers crossed.
Oh, okay. Garage Food is very good. I was involved a few years back. They do some very good hackathons, but it's competitive. If you made it the top 200,
Yes.
well done.
Yes.
That's serious hackathon.
Yeah, that was something that I've never seen before. Yeah.
Yeah, the one we did in 2020, I think there were like almost 300 teams.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
So
they are growing, right?
Yeah, it was EU Africa, so it was people from the
Yes.
EU Africa.
Yeah.
So it's so big and it's diverse. Maybe in
Yes.
the top 200, I hope you got some valuable insights that you
Yes. So the thing that actually happened is on the day of final submission, because we were going to do some demonstration of the electronics of it. So electricity just played the number on us, and we were not able to then make our submission. But we are quite hopeful that this year, the following one will also go and participate and hope for the best.
You must definitely do that. Guys, we've got 90 seconds. Anything else you want to add or say to Metluli? Going once, going twice.
I have something to say to Mr. Gashule. That was nothing but a brilliant leader. And I am very much grateful that I got to be part of his team. I got to be a part of his team. I mean, it's rare to find someone who's going to allow you to spread your wings to do however, as long as you deliver the product. So if there's one thing that is commendable, is that this guy does know how to lead a team. Does know how to lead a team.
Oh,
thank you. That's flattering.
That's fantastic feedback. So Metluli, if you can lead a team, that means this is a small step to bigger things.
Thank you. We hope for the best.
No, most definitely. That was the only feedback. Metluli, do you have any feedback feedback or information that you want to give before we end this?
I want to thank Take Up for hosting this. I think we should be having more of them coming because they are quite helpful. And you can always find us on Facebook, on Instagram, and follow us there. And in November, we are going to have the launch of the 2 products, and we are keeping our fingers crossed.
Okay, thank you for that. Everyone, you can find Metluli. Hopefully you can share your email or whatever.
Yeah, nokwarametluli@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Then you can always Google Menokws and you'll find it there.
Yeah, you can find him in the you share it in the chat. Tech Hub. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and on email. Here you go. Here's the Tech Hub email, techhub@brieftechonline.com. You can find me and the team. Yes, we are definitely going to keep doing these startup huddles. The next one will be, if we don't have one in next month, it'll be in 2 months. That will be for Global Entrepreneurship Week. We are partnering with Pula Space from Botswana. And we're trying to Pula Space is a platform that is going to help entrepreneurs raise capital in Botswana and Zimbabwe. And our target is $5 million funds for startups in this region: Zimbabwe, Botswana, Malawi, and a bit of South Africa. So we're trying to target countries. We're trying to target countries that don't get the attention that South Africa gets. So yeah, that's what we're going for. So look out for that in the next 2 months. If there's no Startup Huddle next month, that is coming in 2 months' time. So please look out for that, and you can come to take up. We still have co-working space for those that want to work and network. And yeah, so last but not least, I'll just say the idea behind these huddles are so that we can come together as people within the startup community and assist each other, help each other, and network. It's pointless to build your great business alone. Rather, let's build and share community and all get better. And that's how we grow the ecosystem. So with that, I'd say good night and enjoy the rest of your evening and weekend. Cheers, guys. Take care.